So this is pyramids and cones. We just finished prisms and cylinders. That formula that I gave y'all for prisms and cylinders was the same. V equals capital B times H. That was for prisms and cylinders. For pyramids and cones, I'm going to give you another formula. This formula is pretty much similar. It's just one addition added to it. And you can see it down here to the right. It says just for the pyramids, but it's for the cones too. We'll talk about it when we get to the back. This is the formula you're going to see on your reference sheet. Volume equals 1/3 capital B times H. What you need to understand though, that capital B still means area of the base. And the only thing we add in additional is 1/3. So for a pyramid and for a cone, you need to use 1/3 on both of those. That 1/3 is for, so think about anything that has a point on it, like a pyramid or a cone, you need to be using 1/3 in your formula. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the formula itself. Y'all know what capital B means. We already talked about that. Capital B is the area of your base depending on what shape your base is. So we should already be comfortable with capital B. Only thing we add in today is the 1/3. Let's make some calculations. 1 through 3, find the volume of each pyramid, round to the nearest tenth if necessary. Thing I want to make sure we do first is identify what kind of pyramid we have. This first pyramid, what shape pyramid is it? Yeah, rectangular pyramid, right? Do me a favor. If you got music on, turn it off. You shouldn't have no headphones in right now. I don't know why I gotta say that, but I say it. So y'all want to play the game? Whoever that is, shut it down. Am I crazy right now? Is it still going? You said shape of the base was a rectangle. What does capital B turn into? Hello? Thank you, man. L times W. I don't know why I don't have 10 people shouting that out to me. The adjustment on here is L times W. You need to speak louder then. Then from there, this is where things switch. I'm going to start plugging numbers in, but let me help y'all understand this. Let me show you in the calculator too why I have issues. So, some of y'all, when we were doing 1/2 before for our, triangles and stuff, some of y'all like to do 0.5 at the beginning for 1/2, which makes sense. But for this, for 1/3, when you try to put that in the calculator, you may want to do it my way instead of doing a decimal at the beginning, because your decimal is going to be ugly for 1/3. It's going to be a run-on. It's going to be 0.33333333 repeating. And you can't round that off at all. You could just divide at the beginning, 1 divided by 3, and then multiply all your stuff together. What I do is, and this is just my method, if you don't want to take my method, you don't have to. At this point, when I start plugging numbers in, I leave the 1/3 out for right now. So I'm going to say volume equals, and then L for me is going to be 21 times my width, which is 9, times the height of my pyramid, which is 5. And then I take all that and I divide it by 3 at the end. I move my 1/3 down, I do a divided by 3 at the end. At this point, this is when I make that adjustment. It's just easier for me to multiply everything together and then divide by 3 at the end, instead of trying to get a decimal at the beginning and then multiplying everything by that decimal. So I did my length times my width times my height, and then I'm going to divide that by 3. What's that? $315. This is yards cubed. Alright, sliding on. What shape is the next one, Warren? Triangular pyramid. I agree with you. That being said, original formula's volume equals 1/3 capital B times H. The adjustment needs to be made. 1/3 parentheses 1. What's capital B now? One half times base times height. Close my parentheses times the height of my pyramid. This is the adjustment that needs to be made to the formula. You need to make sure you make the adjustments. This is why y'all outside the door every day. I keep reminding you. This is why you outside the door every day with me doing area formulas. Because they need to be stuck in your head. Because you won't be given these formulas. You have to be able to make these adjustments on your own. Alright, after you make the adjustment, volume equals, I'm moving the 1/3 to the bottom, making it divided by 3. I'll do that last. So I'm going to say 1/2 times, what's my base 1? 12 times my height of my triangle. My height of my triangle 1. Not the pyramid itself, the height of the triangle. The triangular base, bro. 7.5 times the height of the pyramid. All that is being divided by 3. So remember, I told y'all this when we did prisms and cylinders. These two H's and shouldn't be the same number, unless it's just coincidence. One represents the height inside your base. The other represents the height of your actual figure. I'm listening. Who? No. 150. Something went off. Put it in your calculator again, Earl. You probably forgot to times by 1/2. Dio, what's the third one? I agree. Square pyramid. Volume equals 1/3 capital B times H. I always start there. I expect y'all to always start there. Then make your adjustment. Volume equals 1/3 times. You said what kind of pyramid? So what? What's your capital B turn into? S squared times the height. And then from there, I can, well, make sure I got everything first. I know my sides for my square, 11 and 11. What's my height of my pyramid? Say it louder. We do not know the height of the pyramid. We need to find that. They gave us a slant height for this side right here. That ain't gonna work though. I need the height of my pyramid. So you should already know what's coming if you've been with me. Yeah, I know. Dropping my altitude down the middle right there. And then I need to get my number so I can do Pythagorean. From the middle of this pyramid to this side over here, what's that distance? Thank you, sir. 5.5. From the middle to the side. So 5.5 right there. That's going to help us set up. Y'all know 20.7 is which letter in the Pythagorean? That's my hypotenuse, right? See? Yeah. So set up 5.5 squared plus b squared equals 20.7 squared. I'll help you with that math. 30.25, and then you get 428.49 when you square. I want to save some space, so I'm not going to show the subtraction, but y'all should know that y'all should subtract this number next. So b squared equals 398.24 when you do the subtraction. I just want to save space. Square root. Oh yeah, it's a good time to start teaching y'all this. I actually want you to see this in your calculator. Put that in. Do 398.24. If you ain't did nothing else, do 398.24 and take square root in your calculator. I'm going to show y'all something. You get a long decimal, yes? Yeah, you get like 19.95 something. So on paper, I'm going to just write 19.95, and I'm going to put a line after it. This line is just telling me that I got a long decimal in my calculator. Keep that decimal in your calculator. Do not clear it out. Keep that decimal there. So we've been getting away with it, but we're not going to get away with it for much longer. You cannot round until the very end. So these long decimals, we got to start keeping them. But I'm going to try to help you out and not have to write the long decimals on paper all the time. Keep that decimal in your calculator. On your paper, just write this and just write a line reminding yourself that you got a long decimal on your calculator. Then we're going to go back and do our setup for the formula now. So volume equals, the 1/3 is going to the bottom as a divided by 3. So 11 times 11 times the height, which we just found is 19.95 long decimal. So 19.95 with a long decimal at the end, divided by 3. So in your calculator, you should still have the 19.95 whatever. Multiply that times 11, and then divide that by 3 without rounding. Yeah. Now that you got that number, we can round that number to the nearest 10. And you should get what? What? 804 point what now? See, you off. I think you rounded earlier. Exactly. It said 804.9. You got 8. He got. That's what I'm saying. If you round too early, you're gonna throw your answer off. He got 804.69 or something like that. He's off a little bit because he probably rounded that 19.95. You shouldn't do that. Gonna throw your answer off. 1804.9. You should see like 8 something. Yeah, 89. So you should round it to 804.9. But just by rounding your number early like that, you're gonna throw your answer off a little bit. If we expecting you to type in 804.9, you type in 804.6, we're gonna mark you wrong. You did all that work for nothing just because you rounded wrong at the end. Hold your decimals to the very end. If you can't hold them in your calculator. If you can't hold them in your calculator, just write it out. You got to write the whole thing down. It is what it is. Alright, sliding on. Application. These are the most important ones. These are the word problems. Caitlin must build a sandcastle in the form of a square pyramid for a project, as shown to the left. She bought 3 bags of sand containing 1,200 cubic inches of sand. Will she have enough sand to build the sandcastle? So she already done bought sand. She want to find out if she has enough. She brought 3 bags of sand. Each bag of sand has 1,200 cubic inches of sand in it. What you want to do, you want to find the volume of the actual castle she's about to build. And then once you find that volume to figure out if she got enough sandbags, you're going to divide by how much sand is in each bag, which is 1,200. Once I divide by 1,200, if I get anything over 3, I know she ain't got enough sandbags. Y'all follow what I just said, or did I talk too fast? I'm gonna talk again just for those who weren't halfway paying attention. She trying to figure out if she brought enough sandbags to fill the sandcastle. To figure that out, you need to find the volume of the sandcastle first, and then each of the 3 bags of sand is 1,200 cubic inches. To figure out if she brought enough sand, I'm gonna find the volume of my sandcastle and divide by one of the bags. If the number I get when I divide by one of the bags is anything greater than 3, that means she did not bring enough bags. Y'all follow what I just said that time? Let's find out. We're gonna find out. Alright. Volume equals 1/3 capital B times H. Volume equals, what shape is the base? So what's the adjustment? S squared. I'm not saying I thought so, Vince. So V equals, remember the 1/3 is going to the bottom as it divided by 3. 25 times 25 times the height, which is 18, divided by 3. You can spit it when you get it. 3,750 inches or cubic inches. That's how much the castle can hold. So, taking that number, 3,750 inches cubed, dividing by 1,200 inches cubed. You're going to get 3.125 bags. So I ask you again, is she bringing enough sand? No. She does not have enough sand. Sliding on. Cones on the back. Cones use the same formula, but down here we already made the adjustment for you. Volume of a cone, it'll start out, and I'm showing you this because it's how it's going to look on your reference sheet. Volume of a cone is going to be the same thing, 1/3 capital B times H. They just go ahead and make the adjustment for you because each cone has the same kind of base. What shape is the base on each cone? A circle. So it's always going to be pi r squared here. That's always going to be the adjustment for a cone. So they just went on and did it for you. But I'm always start here and then I'll make the adjustment. Just so you can see it the way you'll see it on your reference sheet. So over here, find the volume of the cone below. Round to tenths if necessary. Volume starts out once again is 1/3 capital B times H. We're making the adjustment since it's a cone times pi r squared times H. This one, once again, the 1/3 is moving to the bottom for me. I'm gonna make it divided by 3. So I'm gonna say 3.14 times my radius, which is what? Just making sure. Times 9 times the height. 17 divided by 3. To the nearest tenth, I'm waiting on y'all. 1,441.3. This is yards cube. What you brought your phone for? Y'all sure you see this number in your calculator? If not, you need to recalculate. Number 2, same situation, it's still a cone. Let's keep it moving. Faith, what's my issue on number 2?
Answer?
What's my issue?
Oh, you gotta find the height.
Missing the height of my cone. I'm gonna drop my altitude in so you can see. To find it, though, I need to make some adjustments. This length from the middle to the, not the side, or to the this point on the cone. What's that length? Thank you. 13.5. That also represents my radius. We'll need that later. So 13.5 right there. I'm finding the height, so we need to do Pythagorean. 13.5 squared plus b squared equals 22.5 squared. Y'all saw the Pythagorean. Come back. You should have got your height as 18. Then from there you can go. You probably already know the volume, which is good. Volume equals 3.14 times, what's my radius? 13.5 times 13.5 times the height, which is 18, divided by 3. Oh, I didn't know I wasn't showing you that. My bad. That's what you got, one? You rounded wrong? Alright, we should be good on that one. We don't did Pythagorean so many times now. Y'all should be used to doing it. Sliding on. Application, let's knock this out so I can be done. Application, these are word problems and stuff you really need to know how to do. Y'all should be able to do this kind of stuff. Number 3 ain't hard at all either. You're just working backwards. It says the cone has a volume of 1,309 cubic centimeters. If the height of the cone is 8 centimeters, find the radius round to the nearest thousandth. Alright. On this one, they give me volume, so you need to understand that when you start writing this out. Volume equals capital B times H. They say it's a cone, so the adjustment is volume equals 1/3 times power squared times the height. Chill, man. Hey, I'm recording right now. Chill. Got all that dumb stuff. It ain't even that funny. Actually, make me mess up. Next thing I should do is plug in my numbers. 1309. I'll make that a 9 right now. Equals, and then I'm dropping that 3 to the bottom. 3.14 times, we're looking for radius, so r squared is going to be your variable. That's what you're missing. Times the height, which is 8. On that side, all of that's being divided by 3. My bad. Chris, what we do first, Doc? So this is regular algebra. Unless you goofing off. Let's laugh about that. What we do first is algebra. Divide what? What? I'm listening. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, man. No, duh. The question was, what do we do first to find the radius? What algebra move should we make? I'm gonna head some wells. Just stop playing around, please. I don't even know where else I can hit. Imani, what move should we make first?
First you have to combine times 8 by 3.4.
I wouldn't do that first. I'm all about uncovering. What should I do first?
Oh, divide 3 by 5.
It's already divided by 3. Y'all really bad at algebra.
I didn't think it stop there.
No, she already said that, but yes. Shh, Jesus Christ. Times 3 on both sides. You did not say that, bro. Cancel it off the bottom over here. Move it to the other side. It's multiple ways to do it. That's just the best way to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm just doing that next. I'm uncovering it first. What's it? Pythagorean theorem. The hell. Alright, then after that, everybody, y'all want to put this together so bad. Yes, you can. 3.14 times 8. That's 25.12 times r squared. That's where a lot of y'all make mistakes at right here. This is 25.12 times r squared. How do I move the 25.12 to the other side? Divide. A lot of y'all be subtracting and y'all be wondering why your answer's wrong. Cancels. You're going to get a decimal on this one. Leave that. And I'm moving over here because I'm running out of space. So when you do 3,927 divided by that, you're going to get 156.32 something repeating. Keep that in your calculator. Not even repeating, just a long decimal. Keep that in your calculator. On paper, I'm going to just write a line reminding myself that I got a long decimal in the calculator. Then I'm going to take square root, hit square root button on that number. And it told us round to the nearest thousands. That's 3 decimal places. Once again, I'm waiting on y'all. Make sure y'all can round. Thank you, sir. 12.503 equals my radius. You should see that in your calculator. If you don't, you need to go back and recalculate. I've been doing a 4-5 freak out on y'all, man, because y'all tripping right now. Tell me to do Pythagoras. Number 4. After eating dinner, Ashley decides she wants to have some ice cream. Her cone was 6 inches tall with a diameter of 3 3/5 inch. Not realizing how full she was, she only ended up eating part of the ice cream cone. By the time she was done, her cone was 2 inches tall with a diameter of 1.2 inches. How much of the ice cream cone did Ashley actually eat? Round to the nearest inch, which is a whole number. I'm gonna draw this out for you so you can see this situation. Can you stop with your snacks, bro? Oh, that's just the bottle. Oh, I thought you were jiggling the snack again. This was 6 inches by what? It's 3 3/5, but I need that decimal. What's 3 3/5 as a decimal? Say it again? The whole thing. 3.6. I'm sure some of y'all don't know how to get that, so I'm going to teach you once again real quick. Make sure you're paying attention if you don't know. Calculator. 3 divided by 5, the fraction. You're going to get 0.6. Add the whole number onto it. 3.6. You're welcome. The smaller cone was 2 inches tall. My bad. The diameter of that was 1.2 inches. So that's the cone after she don't ate off of it. They're trying to figure out how much of the cone she ate. To do that, you want to find the volume of the big cone, then the volume of the small cone, then you want to subtract. I'll tell you the volume of how much she ate. Big cone. You know it's a cone. Let's start here. Volume equals 1/3 times power squared times height. Volume equals 3.14 because we're moving the 3 to the bottom, 1/3 to the bottom. I just like to keep reminding y'all so y'all won't think it disappears. Times the radius of our big cone. What's the radius of the big cone? Nope. What do you mean? Nope. 1.8. 1.8 times 1.8 times the height, which is still 6. All that's being divided by 3. It's going to give me the volume of the bigger cone, the one she started with. So slow with these answers. Let's go. Thank you. 20.3472. It's the big cone. Moving fast because y'all moving too slow. Small cone. Volume equals 1/3 times power squared times the height. Volume equals, moving the 1/3 to the bottom as a divided by 3 times 3.14 times, what's radius on the second cone? Don't have time to wait on y'all. 0.6 times 0.6 times 2. Divided by 3. You're gonna get a small number, don't be scared. Give me a second. Give me like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 0.7536. Thank you, sir. That's gonna be your volume on the second one. It's a small number, but you can still subtract. So we need to subtract these two to find out what the volume of how much she ate would be. Yeah, it's 19.56 something, but like Imani said, they told us around to the nearest inch, so it's 20. So honestly, she ate most of this cone. Really did. She could have just swallowed that last piece.